So, former Free State Human Settlements MEC Mosebenzi Zwane is saying that he took the advice of officials in his department on good faith with regards to the 2010 housing project in the province. Zwane was testifying today at the State Capture inquiry about the process that was followed in the selection of contractors for the building of low-cost housing. In April 2010, the Free State Human Settlements Department abandoned the process of an open tender when the period of this tender had expired and implemented an irregular process where contractors were taken from various databases.
But no one say to you, but you can't do it this way. You can't give contracts for the expenditure of state funds for the construction of houses without going through a proper procurement process. Did no one say that to you?
It is them that suggested, Chair.
Through the officials?
The officials that throughout the years, the database has been used in the department by my predecessors, and as a newcomer there, I agreed with that process for as long as it was going to help us move forward building houses.
Yes, but here, Mr. Zwane, this is a new database. It's being created after a tender process has been abandoned. Correct?
Yes, Chair.
It's being populated at the discretion of officials, although guidelines have been given to you by Cabinet. Correct?
That's correct, Chair.
No formal tender process, therefore, would precede the granting of a contract to any particular contractor on the database. Correct?
That's correct, Chair.
That is unlawful. Were you never aware of that?
No, I was not aware of it. As I've said earlier on, I was told that this has been the process that has been followed. I even asked, based on what is it, a PFMA process? They told me it's a process under Housing Act.
Who told you that?
The officials.
Which officials? Can you name them?
The HOD at that particular time was Mpho.
Our reporter Nhlanhla Kgatlana has been watching that story. He joins us now. Nhlanhla, let's start with that very point where Mosebenzi Zwane was being questioned about whether or not he understood the process and procedure there at the housing department. And he seemed to express the fact that he was aware of very little. And when questioned by the commission chair, he then said, well, it's normal for the HOD to give him a rundown of what are the important legislations that he should familiarize himself with. So tell us a little bit more about this, his shifting the blame.
Well, good evening, Tepisa. Well, indeed, we saw today as the commission continued probing, what transpired in the Free State, Mosebenzi Zwane being sent out based on the evidence that was given by witnesses before. But coming out, Deputy Chief Justice Zondo saying to him, did he know that, the level of responsibility he had? Mosebenzi Zwane saying yes there, but also, conceding to the fact that he did not understand some policies or other legislations, that an MEC who would hold such a position had to know. We heard while he was being questioned in terms of his role, saying that, he depended solely on the people that he found there. And that is contrary to what we were told this week when, Mpho came in here and told the commission that, every time he would try to raise his voice in terms of the wrongs that were done, Mosebenzi Zwane even threatened his job. To put it in Sotho, he said that he told him that basically meaning that, you will be a pauper, you lose your job, you lose your house, as long as you don't do what I do. And telling the commission that he was basically forced into a corner into doing what Mosebenzi Zwane, and said that in record that Zwane knew that what he was doing was unlawful.
In fact, at some point, Nhlanhla, when discussing the PFMA and how much or little he knew about it, he informed the commission that he believed that the accounting officer knew that the buck stops with him, that he told him as much, even though he, Mosebenzi Zwane, was the political head. How did he explain this?
We saw the evidence that are putting it into that question to him. And basically, yet another drama whereby a witness, shifts the blame, saying that, he expected to be given tools to work. And those are, legislation, advices, and things to work with in terms of understanding how the department works. But you know that, like I mentioned earlier, when he came before the commission, said that, you could see that, Zwane had been advised by somebody, and he was not willing to even take no for an answer, forcing a lot of people into corners, threatening their jobs. And there today, we heard him saying that, he didn't know nothing about the Housing Act. And it was posed to him, but this is one of the fundamental, policies that guide the department. How do you become an NEC when you don't familiarize yourself with such an act? And he shifted again, saying that, but there were policies that he knew and so forth. And, the evidence that there said this point, but you had this billion rand project that you wanted, you were trying by all means to be speeded up so that people, like he claimed, that could, it could change the lives of people. He said that, he depended on the people that were there years before him.
Okay. Nhlanhla Kgatlane, SABC reporter watching the State Capture Commission reports there. And of course, we will give you more detail about that. We are watching that story.